Hey everybody, just wanted to take a moment to introduce you to Tier, one of our affiliate sponsors. I found Tier looking for some cross-training shoes, a nice, comfortable, but supportive and stable shoe that I can use for weightlifting and competing. These CXT1s are the best shoe on the market. The heel support is fantastic, the midsole support is fantastic, and the toe box is awesome. Plenty of room to move your toes out so that you can create the best base possible for when you're lifting. These are super comfortable. I find myself wearing these all day long and forgetting to take them off because of that comfortable. www.tier.com. We have a 20% off discount code that you can use. I believe that the most important part is your feet on the ground. So you want to have something that has a lot of grip, but is also stable and allows you to move with agility. CXT1s, get you a pair. This is our 13th podcast.
Yes.
On Friday the 13th.
Oh, it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, and
crazy.
it's rainy and scary out.
Yeah.
People are nuts.
Yeah. It's been real shitty here.
Yeah.
Cold and rainy and
Year?
whatever.
Month?
No, just here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's especially now, but it's not as shitty as Vancouver.
Yeah, I'm sure
Oh,
it
not at
was
all.
crazy. So,
Oh, you guys were in Vancouver.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what
my
and
God.
Washington
Yeah.
State was in Vancouver.
yeah, so
Yeah,
Dustin
I
and
forgot.
Sky
Yo,
went to
yo.
Washington State
Mm-hmm.
this past
Killed it.
weekend.
Yeah.
Took all their lives.
Before that, Texas State.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we made a 3-week run. Yeah,
Right.
we did Texas State. Did basically 10 weeks of training leading up to Texas State, 8 weeks of having a pulley system in life and changing my system up through utilizing the pulley system rather than just weight training and table time.
Yeah, this is your first time doing
Yeah.
stuff like that
Yeah.
too, right? Yeah.
Yep. I putzed
Like,
around and whatnot
sure.
and did it with Dimitri quite a bit, but this was a
Like
different
seriously.
level. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then had about a 2-week, it's really more like a 3-week taper, but I lifted heavy all the way up to the Wednesday before comp, to be
Nice.
honest. I hit a 1 rep max on bicep the week of comp.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt good and kept going with it, and it worked. And then went to have one practice after Texas State, and then didn't have much of a deload, trained hard for a week, and then rolled right into a getting ready for comp week
Yeah.
It
Only
was-
had a few days of eating
of eating for real.
random stuff and
Yeah.
enjoying eating.
And learned that I kind of blueprinted the water cut for myself and how to optimize my frame in terms of making 198 and being the biggest I can get by the next day.
Mhm.
And keeping
Coming
strength.
in, keeping
Yeah.
strength, coming in strong, maintaining a very short window of maximized
Mhm.
dehydration.
Mhm.
And physique-wise, no question, I was the biggest one at both states
Mhm.
Yeah.
with 20-person deep pools.
Right.
And it
that's
was-
crazy.
Yeah, you were definitely the
It was about
biggest-
optimizing size.
You were the biggest 198er on that stage.
Yeah.
No one
Yeah,
on
yeah.
either state believed him that he was
Yeah.
actually made weight.
So
This-
that was cool.
Texas State left hand first. Let's talk about that.
So Texas State left hand, I thought that I was really in trouble as I was walking out of the weigh-in. There's Caleb Ricks walking in.
Hey guys, want to introduce you to one of our affiliate sponsors, Psychopharma. Psychopharma is a supplement company. I think they make great supplements. I've been using their stimulant version pre-workout, Edge of Insanity. This is blue lemonade flavor. I also have the non-stim pump only Venerade. So it's called Edge of Pump. Fantastic. Both of these will give you extreme focus. Edge of Insanity will actually bring you to the edge of insanity. I wouldn't take this anywhere near 4 hours before you go to bed, or you're gonna be sitting there thinking about how you can take the world over off of the edge of insanity. We have a 20% affiliate code, and you should hit their website up, psychopharma.com. You'll be supporting us, and you'll be getting the craziest pumps of your life.
What are you weighing, dude? And he pointed at me, and he's like, I'll see you tomorrow, baby boy. I'm like,
Oh, he
Oh,
is your
Caleb.
line.
He probably didn't say that, but it felt like he said
Yeah.
that.
In your mind.
Sounds
Caleb,
way
I'm making you
cooler.
sound
He
really
offended
cool.
you.
No matter what he said, it was
offensive.
baby Caleb.
No, Caleb will be like, yeah, I definitely said that.
So, he baby boyed me. And then I told her, basically, I was like, fuck, I can't believe he came. That cost us $500 because Lefty, I've never touched him. I've been hurt Lefty. I did get on BPC 157 for this whole a month straight, almost a month straight.
Oh, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. I ended up taking it orally, and my left hand was bothering me. I did not do injectable.
Yeah.
Orally seemed easy, and I was like, that's really accessible.
Yeah.
And I had ordered it right when we came back.
Right.
Nice.
And I took it for just about a month before the comp and wasn't sure I was healed. Things feel good, but very different pulling with all of you guys in practice and then exploding on a table.
Yes.
Wicked different.
Yeah.
And being healed, obviously, right? I trained so hard all the way up. We're not pulling the same person that day.
Right.
And no part of me thought it did anything except for gut health.
Yes.
I had the biggest change was in like gastrointestinal and right? Like I deal with PTSD. That comes with a lot of irritable bowel syndrome. That's just life.
Speaking with my aunt yesterday, she's been suffering from IBS for like years now.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, I know a few people that have been taking BPC, injectable, but
you can take it oral and it's straight to the gut anyway.
Yeah. So this is what I told her. I was like, you should probably look into doing the oral for your, and this is just great. Like,
that's one of the biggest things. I told Steve about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have multiple clients that say the same exact thing. What did happen is sure as shit, there's me and Caleb at the table, Lefty. And I mean, I'm not bending over for nobody. And he hit sideways and he was going to, typically he can maintain wrist. And I busted it. Yeah. And I was like, huh. You're fucked. You're so fucked. And he lifted his elbow. And we both looked at each other like, oh, we know what's about to happen. I was like, nothing can save you now. Right. And my right is so much crazier. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, if I kill him, I'm killing everybody. Right. And sure as shit, boom, right through that time. I went offensive and went right through. I was like, oh, well, maybe we have something here, boys. Yeah. And went undefeated Lefty.
And by the way, he could not mask the fact that he was going to lose.
Yeah.
Like I saw it immediately. I was like, oh, he knows.
But the mask of him going, oh shit, I'm definitely winning this was just as much there as Caleb's disappointment.
Yeah, I think for everybody watching, you gotta there's more emphasis on this that Dustin and Caleb had a thing, right?
Oh, we've
left
had
hand and right hand. It's a thing. They've been doing this dance for a while.
Typically at 209. Yeah. 209. And I've told him forever, see me at 198. Catch me at 198. It's a different beast. Yeah. Because you're going to have to suck that shit up. Yeah. And I walk at 209. Right. So, I'm not optimizing size whatsoever. Right. I'd have to really try. Right. And I compete too much to really care about that weight. Right. Which is why weight classes matter to me. Yes. But I'm optimizing frame. And what he said to me at the end of even left, he's like, you feel like a totally different beast, like you said. At 198, this is different. He's like, I'd much rather pull you at 209. Yeah. Yes, because he could better optimize his size. Right. That is a part of being an athlete in any combat sport. It's just a part of the game. Yeah. Unless you're Gordon Ryan. Right. And you are so dominant that
no one can fuck with you.
People can't fuck with you. Like there's levels, right, of I'm utilizing strength to make up for time. Yeah. He has much more experience. His experience is better than mine. Can I get my strength to a point that I start equalizing things, right? And can I have a lot, my ceiling is very high in terms of I haven't competed long, so I have a lot of growth. Can I catch him? Right. I'm not going to catch his table IQ, but can I find the lanes? And last time he beat me was all IQ. Right. He knew what I was doing. He planned against it and grit his teeth and won it, which was crazy. He's an animal.
Fantastic. Yeah, Caleb's no slouch. Him and Michael Bedwell had a match at our last event. Yeah. Caleb won left. Bedwell won right. And
he's no slouch.
Let's go on the right hand, Texas State.
Right hand, Dusty Hyatt felt like a problem. What is that little guy's name?
It is
It was
Iskandar
Iskandar.
Mustafayev.
Iskandar is something crazy.
He's a 176er?
No, he's a
Nice.
54.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was
Dude.
like,
Little.
He's
Little.
a little guy.
and
But
he's
he
an
doesn't
animal.
care. He
Yeah, and he like
Yeah.
literally does what you would imagine like a warrior screaming at you on the back of a horse coming in to take your wife. Like, he's screaming. Like we have no strap. We go sideways. Before we grab hands even, he goes, "I've been waiting. You're dangerous." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm dangerous."
Yeah, because he knows you because...
Well, I mean, he had been watching me rip people.
This
right?
is after pulse.
But
No. This isn't after pulls. This is right before we pull.
Oh.
Yeah, you actually went to get a beer, and yeah, you missed this
yes.
one, and because he had just watched me tearing through everybody, and then he's like, "You're dangerous," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I got your respect. Now let's dance." And it's right-handed. I'm about to kill him. I'm so high at this point.
Oh, yeah.
No one can fuck with me. You're too small. But let me tell you something. We're out of the strap. We go sideways. He's very fast.
Yeah.
His shit folds apart. We come apart. And he looks at me, steps away from the table, looks at the audience, turns, looks me dead in the eyes, and goes, "Ah!" I mean, I was like,
yeah, I gotta do something.
I didn't know what to do. Yeah, I was like, I better charge up or something.
I've done the same thing.
So, you know, like,
Yeah,
He's-
I reached.
He's doing his Super Saiyan. I gotta do mine.
I
now.
got a Vegeta. So I mean, I reached for my for my inner Super Saiyan, my inner Tucker Keating.
Yes.
Right? I
Yes.
envision Tucker. Tucker does it. I can do it. I can be cool too.
Yes.
I Tucker it up, and then we go. And luckily, I ripped him to shreds. But dude, he's so fast.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's real
Yes.
special.
Yeah.
Like
Special
Texas has a
individual.
special critter.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Iskandar Mustafayev.
Yeah.
He's out of
anybody
Houston.
at 155 would be fun for him.
Uh,
Any match.
I'm sure that and 176 probably too.
I mean, a lot of guys
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
I'm sure he would take it.
Yeah, Dusty beat him.
Oh,
Dusty,
yeah,
but
I
Dusty
mean,
is man.
yeah, that
Dusty
kid
is
is on another level.
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah.
Well, Dustin, he thought that he was
Yeah.
going to take the whole thing. And I
A lot of
forget
people
that
thought that.
Russian dude. Who was the Russian? Well, I always forget his name.
I can't remember his name
The
either.
guy's super cool. But he came up to me and he was like, "What class are you in?" And I was like, 220. He's like, "How'd you do left?" I was like, 2 and 2. He's like, "How's your right?" And I was like, "It's way better."
yeah.
Okay. I want to do 198, but I will see. I was like, but there's so many people in that class. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that you're going to want to do that.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you may be right.
Yeah, because his right is not his left.
Yeah.
His left's pretty crazy.
He wanted you. He wanted Hyatt.
He just can't keep his goddamn elbow down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dustin Hyatt seems like, he's a nice guy, whatever, but he was walking around like he was about to take the shit. And I was like, look, man.
Oh, he was walking around like
I was like, you got the Woody.
feathers were all like-
He was
like,
pissing all over the place.
I was like, what people don't understand is the fact that you haven't had a pulley at your house.
Yeah.
And not training like that
It's crazy.
in your own time is great. Like, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
and
once
like when you
start to
have it in
figure
your
out.
house,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it becomes like it didn't replace my gym time.
Right.
It just became a little.
Additional.
Extra.
Yep.
Here's the additional.
Yep.
Let's get
Right,
weird,
Right.
and that shit is weird. I also got those handles from this guy
Mm-hmm.
at
Magic
Texas
Dragon
State,
Maker.
Nice.
and he made that
the big
roll,
old one? Yeah.
one of the wrist wrench
Yeah.
with a hand,
Yep.
Mhm.
right? So it's the hand
It's
like
just
that
like this, except it's a big
It's big.
cylinder.
with the
Yep,
wrench,
and it's got
essentially.
the straps around the cylinders, so it's
So
wrist
it's pulling you
style.
through.
Yeah, pulling you open.
It's
And
so
I-
cool.
It's gonna be that's the game changer right
That's
there.
so cool.
100%.
That's what I use leading into Washington State.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It felt
Like,
crazy.
and that's the reason why the pulleys at home with the right handles are important, because
Definitely.
you can always keep your mind
And you can adapt.
focused on
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also
What-
understanding
what
what
you're
you're
doing. Right,
what
what
you're
you do and
moving.
how to do. And that's the other thing, right? When people that can actually push themselves really hard at home are gonna do the best. They're gonna take away the most.
Yeah. Crazy.
Right? When you're at home training and you're like thinking you're going hard, this is why you got to keep track of your numbers. Right?
Time and attention.
Yeah. Yep. You have to push yourself as hard as possible, or you're wasting time.
The multiplier of bringing that into my training is dumb. Because it's such a direct translation.
It is.
Rather than me making my body just stronger, which is great.
It's good.
We all should be really fit and great.
Yep.
But man,
I'm sure you're like, man, I should have started this shit.
Oh yeah, and I knew that training with Dimitri.
In the house for a whole year without it set up because we're lazy.
Yeah, I had a pulley sitting there.
Yeah.
But it's like
I just train all the time.
One hand feeds the other.
Yes,
because the gym training, and then you go at the end of your gym training week to practice.
Yep.
And now you're applying the strength, everything that you gained in the gym, to try to use it on the table.
Well.
Yeah. Now you're using this to supplement. Yeah, it's exponential. I think
exponential is the word.
Exponential growth. Because you're mixing the two.
Yeah, and the same growth would come probably at a 1.5 times rather than a 1 times for those that are only using pulley systems and not getting their fitness on. A 1.5.
Yes.
All of these are multipliers, and we all should be doing them both.
100%.
Because my growth was how I felt at the table. Like, what?
Yeah, you felt like almost invincible.
I felt invincible. Oh, at 198, I felt like whoever stood across from me. So then, prep for Washington State. Won it all, went undefeated. Ended up me and Caleb again on the right hand. Busted that ass open and moved on. And head to Washington State just 3 weeks later. Not much time to prep, but I planned this to be like a season. That I did. All the work was done, and now I got to work. It's time to pull. I just got to go execute.
Just keep pulling.
So then it was like, I'm going to go into a week of lifting heavy again and feel good. And then 1 day of training with the boys, then back to healing, focused on healing, swimming, walking weights, did a ruck walk with you, prepped for the weight cut again. I made the blueprint. I did the exact same thing again. It worked. Get up there, feel.
Weight cut was easy.
Yep, all easy.
Weight cut was easy.
Get up there, feel invincible.
Yep.
We also brought Steve Groot with us.
Steve
or Steve Root, because there was.
Well, it's actually Steve Root. There was a Steve Groot.
So his last name
isn't
Root.
It's Root.
It's
Root. We just have called him Groot forever.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like fucking Groot.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve Root.
Yes.
We brought him with us. He did great.
Well.
He did great. He had one guy beat him, and the guy had a very specific lane. He was an old school WAL guy, actually. Super legit, wonderful man.
Robert Bear.
Bear. Yep. I got to pull him as well, lefty, and I'm so happy I got to pull him fresh and be the first one, so I could show Steve. There's a lane.
Steve lost to him only due to inexperience. The last time
the guy
Steve
grips you so low that, I mean, if you grip me like that, I'm like, what? You're crazy.
You're like,
I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I mean, in my weight, right? I mean, Dimitri could grab me like a child. But yeah, at my weight, you like the dad's move? I'm busting that thing all up. And the problem was that Steve wanted to go into his fingers and not blow his whole hand back. And I'm going to attack the wrist. Especially when the lever's so low. Like, he can shut your pronation up. But it was like, I'm okay with getting in here and then and turning that whole thing over. So that was fun. They also had a guy, Brian Fry. Brian Fry was a #1 in Oregon guy. Short, jacked dude. Super nice dude as well. He was the one I had my eye on right-handed. He ended up catching me in the finals like I thought he would. Not catching me and beating me, but meeting me at the finals, I should say. And here's another funny part of the right-handed is I never even put a strap on. Which is in any tournament.
So crazy.
I typically am going to blow out, and I'm a strap guy. I understand it really well.
I was very happy about that.
I was just like, and then with Brian Fry, I was like, dude, I probably want to bust his shit back, get him in a strap, bust it back, and finish this. But to get in one grinder today.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And we got in it, and I just went right through.
Yeah,
It
right
was
through.
Right through.
Yeah.
So we've worked that lane for a while now, and it was fun putting it into action.
It is.
The only guy lefty was like Tim Lewis.
Tim Lewis, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought,
I was
that
surprised.
was
I mean, I thought that was actually going to be like,
interesting.
yeah. That was the only one that I was like, oh, he's
Tim Lewis.
Because I know Tim Lewis.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe, but nah.
But Vince, there was a gentleman
Vince
named
Gordon.
Vince there.
Yeah. Yep.
Vince Gordon.
Yep.
Great guy, super, super nice dude. I would call him Mr. Unassuming. He's in great shape, much better shape than I had seen him a long time ago. He was strong, and he was really fast.
Yeah.
Like, he caught me sleeping on the left, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to arm wrestle now. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are here to compete. Okay.
Yeah.
And luckily, once I was there, I was fine. There was no worries. But he caught me sleeping, and she's like, "Go first." I'm like, "I'm trying." He's like a young spruce boy. Like, he heard it faster than me. It felt like he was good. He was good. Hats off to him for sure. It was really fun destroying him on the right when he's getting coached by Corey right there in the corner.
Yeah.
And talking shit to Corey through his soul.
Wicked.
It was amazing.
So you went essentially 20-0.
Yeah.
Crazy.
In the last two tournaments. Yeah. Together. It's
pretty cool.
crazy.
So 40?
29
What's
actually.
that?
40? I
No,
know.
that's combined.
Kind of.
No. I'm 29-0 right now on my last 29 outings.
Yeah.
I haven't lost a match in 29.
That's amazing.
I would love to know on airs who has the greatest streak right now.
I'm sure Frank could tell you.
Yeah.
Is that on there?
Well, he'd have to tally it, figure it out. He'd have to filter that. But things are going good.
Going real well.
Mm-hmm.
Sky did well.
Yes.
Sky doesn't get to compete as much, but she's going to change that.
Yeah, I'm more, because of Washington, I will say. Texas, it was an interesting battle between the women just because there weren't little women.
Yeah.
And so on left, it was just me and one other girl, which is typical, but that's not a class. That's a super match, basically. Yeah. But on right, we somehow ended up getting a fourth, and in Texas, 4 people, period, make your
actual class.
And so there was an actual payout. I won that. Very great with that. All the ladies that competed, super appreciative of all of them joining. Washington was a whole different story. In Washington, I probably appreciate it the most of all.
I mean, you got to pull.
Yeah, there was like legit competition.
Yeah, you got to pull Le'Aaron Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, what the?
Le'Aaron, I have
Le'Aaron's
pulled
such another
before,
creature. Yeah.
but Le'Aaron is like the
This is
end
crazy.
goal. She's amazing, and she's
So
gritty as all can be. But
Yes.
Le'Aaron, I have pulled before. I've seen her in Texas before, and I love what she does for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
She's just insane. She's
It was the
so
other girls,
fast.
though. The other girls were arm wrestlers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that was
the
cool.
other girls were just strong women that were just getting introduced.
No,
they've only-
not all of them were like
Not all of them, no, but 2,
That little short
3 of
girl
them.
seems
It's
like she's
legit.
been arm
Long
wrestling.
Sierra,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
from Montana.
That's a super match.
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would love to pull her again.
Yeah,
She is
she
strong.
she
She
seems
pulled the
Yeah.
154 males.
Mhm.
She pulled the heavy girls and then pulled the light
Well,
girls.
yeah.
154.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah.
She's
And
the
I
only
don't
girl
know
who did
why.
it.
How'd she
I don't
do?
know why.
I feel like Le'Aaron would have beat them all.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
Like the amateur, at least.
Yeah. But no, Sierra is a fucking monster. She's dope.
Yeah,
She's super cool. But Washington left, don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, you got embarrassed.
Left.
But it's
left
okay,
is
'cause
so
this
shitty
is-
for me, though.
I'm just gonna say this. I don't believe in pulling one arm, even if your other arm is
Yeah,
garbage.
not at all. Yeah.
Because
Wake
it
up.
wakes you up.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
gets your body ready to go for the arm that you care about.
Yeah.
Now, it does suck if your left arm is your strong arm.
Mhm.
And you typically go first, right?
Yeah.
So it's like maybe go pull right on the
Yeah.
side table or
Yeah.
something first.
No, I was told by one of the girls, I wish I could remember her name, but she is left dominant. And so knowing that, I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to care. But right, only losing to Le'Aaron, I'm more than happy with that.
Right.
With that streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And Le'Aaron lit you the fuck
Yeah.
up.
But I got to after pull with Le'Aaron. I got to after pull with Carolina, which is even crazier too. And
Oh, you did?
Oh,
I
that's
did.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And
Okay.
How did she do?
Oh my god!
monster. She's nuts. She,
Talking about Carolina Peterson,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
yeah. No, she's amazing.
She's competing at Arm Havoc tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know though.
Okay.
No, but no, she's insane. She makes her body composition, whether it's her legs, her arms, the way she holds muscle on her body, I think is perfect for any female in arm wrestling.
Yeah.
She has like the perfect body ratio
Yeah,
for
she
arm wrestling.
does. Yeah.
Period.
Another cool thing that happened out there is I got to pull with Arson
Mhm.
on a side table. I got a hug from Vresh.
Yeah.
That was fucking cool.
Yeah.
It was like he has been around at tournaments. When I had my first tournament, he was there with his guys. And then my second tournament, I would see him. And then my third tournament, I would see him. And I'm just this fucking maniac running through the AMs, killing everybody.
Yeah.
And now I hadn't seen him in forever.
Just hooking motherfuckers.
And here he is. There's Vresh. And he's like, I was like, oh, we're buddies. Yeah, I got some Vresh respect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude. It was a funny
His
moment.
whole clan has respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would call them a clan.
They are a clan.
Yeah.
Yeah. David.
It was David, Vresh, Arson, and
Was there a fourth
Vresh's son. Right?
Okay, Vresh's
Youngest
son.
son.
Nice.
Who loves
that's
Sky.
cool.
It was interesting.
I feel like Arson punked me for him.
Yes.
For sure, right? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I got your back, bro.
Yeah. It's like, I'll show you. He ain't shit. But he was great. Arson was super nice. We got on the table. I could feel him, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe I wouldn't even feel. I can very much feel. Inside, what a fucking freight train.
Yeah.
As soon as he rounds the bend,
Mhm.
oh, shit.
You can feel all those tendons
He
just
busted up
connect.
my frame both hands.
Yeah. But, that's the important part about the after pulling.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
It's
have
the
to.
infinity gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
Like, there is something about just getting on the table with everybody
Touching
that you
hands.
can and just feeling it. Your body
Even if you're
absorbs
fucked
so
up.
much of that.
Yeah. I was too
Like
broken
Devin
to
says,
pull.
the
Yes.
cosmic punch.
The
Yeah.
cosmic
like,
punch. Yep.
Like ripping up with
I
different
pulled with
people.
Tom Rotz.
Oh,
Rositz.
yeah, Roses. Yeah. Thomas Roses,
That's a
yeah.
special creature.
I'm sure.
He's a big head. He's like a big dude, but he's only like a 192.
Yeah.
Super strong. Crazy squeeze into back pressure.
Okay.
It's like this exact movement you feel. And like you could go into it and kind of get it sideways, but if you decide you want to fuck with it,
Right.
you got to be like Paul Talbot and be willing to just like completely lose your hand and say, fuck it, I'm just going to bite down.
Yeah.
That hurts even moving
Yeah.
around. Dude, Paul Talbot that day, beating him lefty,
Right.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I walked up to Paul afterward and I was like, I'm an American that has defended this country and I am a patriot to my core. And that was the most American shit I ever saw.
I salute to you.
And he was like, thanks, bro. I love it. I was like, yeah. I was screaming for you
Wicked.
because he just bit down.
Yeah,
and didn't
I tuned
accept
in
defeat.
late. I didn't
Yeah.
get to see any.
He like just wouldn't accept defeat.
love that.
His whole shit was bent
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
And he grabbed the peg and just leaned forward.
Yeah.
And it was like, are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Like people were like, oh
Yeah.
shit. And he just barreled through him and turned it over.
Like
Yeah.
a fucking man.
Multiple times in a row, like a
Love
man. Yeah.
Love
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool event.
Yeah.
We already know Billy runs an amazing event. TAL States was stellar and it paid out.
Mhm.
Washington didn't pay, but it had more of like a celebrity feeling.
Right.
Yes.
Mm.
It
A
seems
lot
like,
of a lot of good pullers show up, and there's a lot of like. It was fun to dominate at an event where you're getting to do it in front of the Uncle John,
yes,
Tim
the
Talmadge,
who's who.
Corey
Corey
Miller.
Miller.
I
Yes.
was fucking here at the house just
Oh yeah.
because I'm listening to them commentate your match.
Oh, I haven't even gone back and
it's
watched
like
it
the
yet.
first match is like they're just like, oh yeah, it's Dustin DeWoody versus blah blah blah, and they're like, oh yeah, saw this guy at Texas State did pretty well, and then as you got to the right hand, it was like,
Yeah.
oh
Uh-oh.
shit.
He's
It's
coming.
Dustin DeWoody
He's
coming up to
coming.
the table.
Yeah.
This dude
I
is
have to go watch
super
it.
strong. You have to.
Yeah.
You'll be like,
Yeah.
Oh, my
It's-
dad said the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah, I
So
sent it
it's-
to him today.
right. Which is
It's an 8-hour broadcast.
it's super.
So
Oh
good.
god.
Yeah.
So fucking
This is
long.
the only
Dude.
problem
Yeah.
I have with
Yeah.
that event is we sat
So-
there for so long.
First off, Shout out to Tim Talmadge, Arm Sports.
Oh my God, it was great.
Great. 8 hours, not with it.
We were there for 12 hours.
It
That's
makes
crazy.
you think maybe AM should be on one day and pros should be on another.
Yeah.
It
That's a
really
little
That's how
crazy.
they-
But I think that pros should be first.
Yes.
Because you're so ready to go when you get there. And a lot of us come with a team to cheer on.
Yep.
Yes.
And I would love to be
just-
able to dump my adrenaline on my match
On
Yep.
myself.
and then give them every ounce that I have left, and I
right.
won't be holding back.
Right.
Yeah. And
I'll
I
just
think
be ridiculous.
I think it does too. What it will do is it gives the AMs that time
To get inspired
to
and
look
learn.
at what arm wrestling really is.
At the highest
Yeah.
level.
I
I couldn't
agree
agree
with
more.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
think
idea.
that is a major move in the right direction. But I understand people argue it all different ways. And had I not had Steve, right? I'm there for my dog. So I got there at 9 a.m. with Steve to pump him through this challenge, get him through the 64. Okay, cool. Now I have to rear back,
And get ready.
center myself. Now we have
Yeah.
we had so much to like go
Yeah.
through still, and you have to time your eating, and there wasn't really good food. But
Yeah.
had I done it like just by myself,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have got there till 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slept in.
Yeah.
Would have been cool. I could have
Two
texted him,
breakfasts.
tell me when I should start rolling.
Right.
We would have gone out to eat a couple times,
Mhm.
kicked back, slept late. I didn't sleep there at all. I was up at 4:30 every day
Mhm.
because that was 6:30 here, and I'm an early riser. And for whatever reason, I didn't even go back to sleep. I would just sit there.
Yeah.
That
I
was
slept.
rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Guys like now. I'm
Yeah.
sleeping.
You're
That was
upset.
great.
Yeah, I had same with Steve. He had the hardest time sleeping.
Yeah.
But
It is. I
overall, it
mean,
was
it's different times.
The venue was great.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was
Yeah.
in like an old school theater.
Dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
From like probably
Philly.
I
the
love the
60s.
outside
Dude.
All of it was cool.
on the
Yeah.
on the
It
board.
was so
I
fucking
was like,
cool.
that's dope.
We right here have to find a place in Austin and just San
Like
Antonio,
that.
Dallas, wherever we're gonna start
Yeah.
doing
because
arm
the
wrestling in
seating was
Texas.
so good.
A theater is fucking legit.
Yeah.
Or even just like
The seating for it all at the stage.
it's all
Everywhere
set,
was a great
no
seat.
chairs.
Mhm.
There's a bar upstairs. There's pizza. There's
Yeah, the
concessions,
bar
there's
upstairs was
popcorn.
cool.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah.
And everybody's seated.
Yeah,
That was really cool.
Yeah.
there's places for speakers that are already set up that you just have to connect to. There's
And the place was full.
And
Yeah.
because it's
All
a
the seats were
theater, everyone can see.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. And the sound system's already in place, which sounded great. The music going was
There's
really
a
cool.
stage
Yeah.
high up, easy to get to.
Yeah, yeah,
It's aesthetically pleasing. The red, the gold. It was so.
yeah. That was
So-
probably the
The-
coolest venue I've
Yeah.
The problem is, and this is why it was different versus the super match thing that Tim had going on,
Yep.
is you have to balance which audience you're trying to please.
Yeah.
Mm.
The in-person versus people watching at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Core Sports kind of does it well. They have two different events,
Mhm.
right? They have King of the Table and they have East versus West.
Yes.
So King of the Table is more of kind of how I like it, where everybody can kind of wrap around.
Yeah.
East versus West is everybody's looking at the stage.
Essentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they're getting best of both worlds, and it's all
Yeah.
up to
Well,
whoever.
how was
I-
it watching
well, I-
Washington?
Yeah, how was that?
I don't like watching shit like that because I
Yeah.
don't like the one angle.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't feel engaged.
It's not
in it.
immersive at
Yeah,
all.
Yeah.
But
I
at
was-
the tournament.
It's kind of like you're watching a CCTV in
Yeah,
color.
and
Yeah.
you're like,
It
you're
is
just
like
like, it's like, yeah, it looked like something
I'm like,
was happening.
I'm like
and you're just
spying on y'all while y'all
Yeah,
arm wrestling.
yeah.
looking around the curtain. And you're like, oh, what's going on over here? That's
Yeah,
what I
you're
thought.
not a part of it.
Yeah.
But me and Haley were like, oh my God, in person, that's probably sick.
Yeah.
It
Like
was
it
sick.
looked great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just balancing it.
Yeah.
It's eyes of the beholder,
Yeah, there's a lot going on too. Like
Yeah.
the sound isn't as good. Like
No,
the single
no.
table obviously can pull a better sound.
There was no sound at the table because they had speakers going on. It's like, and you can't have that bleed because then it's just really bad.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it looked great. I know you guys had a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Everybody
blast.
was there.
Crazy after pulls. super
Yeah,
fun.
that's what I wanted to go for the most. I was like, I want to go to the after pool. Like that's the only reason why I wanted to go.
Oh,
It's like
it was
that
so
after pool is probably fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, you got to make the after pool happen.
Oh.
That's definitely. A
We made it
thing.
happen.
So there should always be an after pool.
Yes.
I don't care where it is, right?
Yeah, or who it is, or
Mhm.
whatever.
What there needs to be an
There's
after
nothing more
poll.
important.
Yep.
And they almost didn't have one in Washington State.
Yeah.
Really?
There was one at the hotel, another
I
group
don't-
had.
they wanted
But at the
it.
place where all the funnest people were, no, we had to get a table and we made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they got real.
It
Yeah,
felt
everybody
like
was
a
like,
party.
Oh, it
Yeah.
felt like it got.
Yeah.
Because when you got a bunch of arm wrestlers hanging out together after an event,
We all want to arm wrestle.
everybody's just like,
What did I do with?
Yeah.
They're just
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
in the air.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're talking arm wrestling.
Yeah. But
And you
can't
introduce a
do
table in.
Oh yeah, everybody's like, let's go. So there should always
There's
be
a lot of teaching and
Right.
listening and
Yeah.
wait, what the fuck did you just do? That was cool.
Right.
Like, don't do that. That was
Speaking of
stupid.
which, your training next. What do you have in your mind to get better, to do better?
Yeah.
Like, are you thinking about
retiring the
so?
shoes?
Yeah.
Not saying this guy's shitty at all. She's great.
Yeah, thanks.
The problem is the weight, right?
So yeah,
She always has to pull up.
naturally I always
30
want to
pounds.
get bigger. Yeah. So Texas, it's 154 and lower. There, you had some girls like Lee Aaron was able to make under that class, which was very surprising to me.
Mhm.
The other girls, I believe, were in like the lower 40
Mhm.
range, so
Yeah.
they were more closer to my weight.
Yeah.
That day of the tournament, I stood on a scale fully dressed, and I was 129.
Okay.
Mind you, it was cold as fuck, so I was wearing a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
But with clothes, I don't know the last time I was 129, so I
Yeah.
am doing something to
Yeah.
gain that weight.
Good.
But and I will happily admit it, I did feel a little silly in the heels.
I love that
Okay.
the word is silly.
Yeah.
Silly is
Really?
100% the
Why?
word. The
Because you
I'm
pull against
so
athletes.
glad she's
Yeah,
saying
well,
this
I
now
have to be
because I
an
wanted to
athlete,
say it for
and
so long.
I'm able to move in heels and I'm able to do my thing, and I can do it easily. I don't have a problem in heels, but I can be so much better without them.
You watch people
And-
like Carolina, how they shift their feet around. They're
Yeah, and
moving.
in practice
Yeah.
I do it. And my thing for the heels, for all the people who want to be like, why do you do that? Arm wrestling is so small, and if you can get any type of eyes on the sport, no matter what you're doing, being obnoxious and screaming all the fun words no one really wants to hear, or just being rambunctious, just fucking do it.
So it was a gimmick.
Just do it.
It was a gimmick. Yeah.
I was putting on a costume.
Oh, okay.
Everyone loves it because anytime I would leave, I would walk to the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
Every single female I pass is like, I can't believe you're doing that. You're an idol. I've had little girls be like, you're Superwoman. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
thing
Yeah,
that
it's part
people
of the costume.
remember
Yeah,
you
yeah,
for.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you want to get the sport places, people have to remember you.
Yeah.
And so how could I do that? I put on shoes because I can wear them and other people can't.
Yeah.
Cool. But I want to take this sport more
Yeah,
seriously.
So now you got to change the costume.
And now I need to be my own costume.
Yes.
I don't need a costume.
You don't
Right,
need it.
right.
And we'll see what that looks like. Training for me has always been bodybuilding. I have always put my life and my school first. I want to kind of start putting arm wrestling first a little bit more. And so I'm going to try and incorporate home pulley system and see what that looks like in my training system, because I need to work on wrist and hand,
Yeah.
period.
But it's not. I don't think
Number
it's
one.
about like putting arm wrestling first. I think it's just about incorporating.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what
but
you what
for
you
me,
need to do.
I've always just trained so hard because I really, really care about how I look and how I feel.
Mhm.
And that doesn't include arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Arm wrestling makes my arms look cool and they make them better. They shape them up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. And I do it because it's my hobby. It's not my passion.
Yeah.
It's just my hobby right now.
Yeah.
And I'm really good at what my hobby is. But I want to be great at something I'm passionate about. So
Yeah.
I'm slowly getting to
So
be
you
able
felt
to
like
feel-
going and competing against people who were actually competitive.
Yeah,
Like
I-
Sierra,
It
you were
literally.
like,
yeah.
fuck this.
No.
Okay.
Washington State
This
was
is
my
good.
first ever tournament.
Yeah.
I have never been in a legitimate tournament to where I felt nervous. That was a
Okay.
time, Washington, I was nervous. I was ready. I was excited. I
That's
felt
good.
emotions.
Right.
Texas, I go into it, I'm like, I'm the baddest bitches here. I
got
got
this bitch. Yeah.
Like,
And
I'm
I-
too
Yeah,
cocky.
or it's Sarah
I'm-
McKinney or Elizabeth, and
Yeah.
you have a
Right,
chance.
right.
But Texas, I'm just too cocky. Washington, I wasn't allowed to be cocky because I had competition.
Mhm.
That's so different. Like when you have to hype yourself up
Yeah.
because you don't know what's going to happen,
Right.
that's a legit tournament.
Yeah, we know that feeling because it's every time.
Yeah.
Every-
I'm scared.
I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I've never never
I'm
felt
here.
that.
I'm here.
So
I'm up there pitching
welcome to
myself.
the club.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice.
You competed for real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
we're gonna
then
see what that looks like.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that going there did it, and that's a good message for people is to go and fucking travel.
Yeah.
Travel
Yeah.
outside of
Yeah.
your state
Yeah.
and compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of where you know
Mhm.
people. Stop chasing the state rankings
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a little bit. Go somewhere else. Take
Yeah.
a small weekend vacation.
Mhm.
It's not that expensive
Mm-mm.
to do something.
The one piece about that I would love to add
Yeah.
is you call and talk to the promoter first.
Yeah,
And you
Yeah.
make sure they're not doing brackets on pen and paper. That's
Yeah,
insane.
That's
Yep.
super crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Super crazy. You don't have to do
We've
it.
moved on in
Yeah.
the world. Excel's weird, I
Right,
know.
right.
But it's
legit.
simple, it's legit, and your
Yeah.
brackets will look great. They're easy to turn into airs. Everyone should be carrying and looking at
There's
building
no
the sport
cheating.
through
Yeah,
that.
there's no cheating.
There's no myths. There's like, oh, I beat all these guys. I'm really
Right.
good.
Right.
Well, interesting. Let me look this up. On that note,
Yeah.
when someone goes and is wrecking shop and winning event after event,
Mhm.
I think you go hunt them down at an event.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's what you do.
Right.
No super matches.
Unless
no
you're
DMing.
real good, like
Yeah, absolutely.
like unless we know each other, like Niles Anderson is talking about a match with me.
Right,
Cool. I mean,
right.
he's legit. I love the guy.
Right.
But if you want to go like make your name,
Mhm.
I would understand looking at who's going and competing where,
Mhm.
showing up and busting that ass open.
Which is why everybody loved the movie Over the Top.
Hell
Because
yeah.
Sylvester
Mhm.
Stallone, going
Track
against
him down.
Blaster, he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, see me at the tournament.
Yep.
Nah, man, come on, little pussy, let's pull
no,
now.
no.
See me at the tournament.
Yeah.
Yes, where it matters.
Because when you're fucking fighting your way through a bracket,
Different
and
game.
both guys that need to be at the top, and we get to see who they are,
Yeah.
that is what we're looking
And they're cooking. Yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
cooking.
When
Me
did
and
that
Caleb
movie
did it.
come out?
Oh, God,
80s.
I still
84.
haven't seen it. And every arm wrestler yells at me for it.
Oh, my
Wait, you
goodness.
haven't?
You haven't
That's
seen
pretty
Over the
weird.
Top yet?
I'm like letting you down as a human being.
Yeah. you
87.
saw it in my eyes.
87.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
No.
dude.
I've seen homework.
Yeah. But
It's-
like,
it's-
you should,
it's-
but like as a competitor, you should be looking at your airs.
Yeah.
And at this point, I mean, I understand if events haven't been put in for you and whatnot, because you were.
But there's enough.
Now there's so many. I mean, God.
Like,
And
Yeah.
you go
four
to Leonard
tournaments
and
that you get
Denise's
put in.
event. Go to Greg Sharp's event.
Right.
Go to Tim Talmadge. Go to Billy. There's everybody.
Yes.
This is really simple.
Yes.
But you should make these phone calls before you show up and spend your money to get
Right.
there, right?
Mhm.
Like, make sure, hey, what are the payouts? You know,
Yeah.
that's the hot topic right now. We can defend this as athletes.
Right.
We can go, hey, are you using a pen and paper to make the brackets, or are we taking this a little bit more
Right,
seriously?
right, right.
I would never, if I show up there and that's what y'all are doing, I'm like, I'm out. You
I
guys.
can't be a part of
This
this.
is amateur
Yeah,
hour.
yeah.
Y'all don't know what you're
well,
doing.
especially because with airs, Corey Miller will get on a call with you
and educate
and
you.
explain
Teach
and teach you how to
bracket
use his
system.
bracket system.
you. Here it is.
Like you don't
We'll
have
give
to
it to
be
you.
a wizard. Like you don't need a fucking wizard to use a computer. When somebody can tell you and walk you through it and is willing to spend the time on video, on phone, to walk you through the whole thing, and Corey will because he wants you to use it because he put a lot of time into Aries. Why the fuck are you doing this shit on pen and paper?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
We're done with that.
And to even send that to him would be,
Yeah.
I would shrivel up and die.
Yeah.
But again, make those phone calls. Find out where it's going to be. Find out how they're doing it.
Yeah.
Understand the food situation.
The food situation's
It's a big deal.
And this is a shot at promoters. Like you need to make sure that these athletes can eat.
Yeah.
Biggest thing
Yeah.
every single time when I hear, oh, they couldn't bring in their own food. Oh, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
That needs to be one of the first things that you need to negotiate when you're getting a
Allow.
When you
venue.
get a venue.
We need people to be able to bring in food. And I mean, if you have to pay a couple $100 extra to make that happen at that venue, for
Whatever.
cleanup, whatever,
They're athletes.
make that happen.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're going to have the better people show up.
And athletes, if you want that to be a thing and the promoters are like, it's a little extra, I don't know if we can pull it, pull your own weight, clean up your shit, or
Yeah,
12
please,
pounds of
clean
it.
up.
And you should
It's
be
easy.
requesting these things, you know.
Yeah.
When you're going to events and you're talking to, I mean, I talk with Billy all the time.
Mhm.
I talk with Tim Talmadge. I talk to Corey.
Mhm.
You can get involved in these conversations too. These aren't hard conversations to have. You can reach out. These people are very, very accessible. This is a small sport,
Willing to talk
and we
about
all want it
anything.
to be great.
Yeah.
They would be stoked to get feedback like that. Like you'll get a call from me saying, "What's the food situation like there? What time should I be there? Who's starting? Are the AMs starting? How are we kicking this off?" These are great questions as an athlete to understand what time are weigh-ins. Is there a gym nearby that I can utilize a sauna? These guys are willing to have those conversations with you, and you can really approach things very professionally in the way you negotiate your season, your year. My next year, I'm lining things up for myself to be able to know what my training blocks are going to look like in prep. And then you guys everybody should sit down and calendar your season and be like, these are the events I'd like to go to. Let me contact Ryan Grondin for Winter Blast. What are we doing Winter Blast at this year? What's that going to be like? Or hit him up via Facebook. He would be super cool, and he'd go, "Oh, this is what we're doing." These things matter.
He's spitting game right now. If you like to pull all year, that's cool, but you should pick tournaments that you really want to do well at, and those should be at the end of a really good phasing structure, right?
Yes.
Well, it's like 32 weeks. At the end of that 32 weeks, you may have done every 8 weeks, smaller tournaments to get yourself ready. But at the end of the 32 weeks, you need to be ready to go. I'm going to this tournament, Winter Blast, Washington State, Texas State, whatever the fuck it is.
Michigan,
and
Colorado.
Boom.
Florida.
Florida.
We need to do a better job with preparation. I think that's the biggest thing that's missing from these events.
Yeah, it's a lot of winging.
Sky's talking about shoes.
Yeah.
I have the hugest problem with that. I go to these events, I see people pulling in fucking sandals. I see people wearing stilettos. And I'm like, this is arm wrestling.
We're athletes.
Have you ever tried to arm wrestle without your legs on the floor?
Yeah.
Doesn't work. So
You
your
got
feet,
no ground force reaction.
Yeah. You have that ground force reaction, right? So taking care of everything that's involved, right? Weight cuts, doing it the right way. Water cuts, doing it the right way. Starting earlier, not deciding that you're going to pull a tournament 2 weeks before and you're 15 pounds over, and now you're like, you're not going to.
No.
It's not going to be the best you. So preparation's the biggest thing.
Also, team. If you have people in your corner or you are someone's corner, make it a team thing. Get everyone to go.
Make it a
Let's
team.
make each tournament or each super match super fun for every promoter, not just for ourselves.
Right.
Let's help them grow the sport because they're the one doing the
100%.
hard work.
Don't just ask for things. Like, help them promote the sport. You know, like give them ideas. They're always asking for. We're always looking for ideas. Like, how do we do this better? Instead of like, okay, I'm going to do this, and everybody's like, that fucking sucks. It's like, well, what is the alternative? What can I do different? And
and they want to know.
Yeah, we do want to know, man. Let's move to King of the Table.
Yes.
We could talk about Brian Shaw versus Eddie Hall first, or
yes. Yeah. For me, none of that really changes. I think that Brian Shaw is too much. The angle's too tall. That lever's going. He has the crazy grip strength to make that height a weapon of collapse. Yeah. And I think that's where it goes. I would love to say it goes any way different, but if Eddie doesn't get this way at all, if there's no corkscrew or anything that gets him in, and he tries to ride outside, like I'm seeing him train, which I think is beautiful training, amazing as a matter of fact. Neil,
that's not going to work on Brian.
But I mean, it's just that is an issue. I think
if he does that, Brian, I think Brian couldn't do that, but I think Brian is just a natural presser. And I think he just might. If
Brian presses, we may see Eddie inside with him.
I don't think Brian's a natural presser.
No,
and that's only from the videos that I've seen. Like Devin and his son are trying to teach him how to, and he's so awkward. He's so trying to get, and it's probably because it's so fucking.
I mean, he's awkward with everything.
And that's why I have a little bit different opinion. I think Eddie is way less awkward.
Oh yeah.
And
he is way less.
It might be because he's a little bit smaller.
I think he's a better athlete.
He's way more athletic.
I think he's a better athlete.
Yeah, his movements, and I do love the way that Neil is making
very organic
movement. Like,
I'm with you,
man, that shit is golden.
Yeah,
like
golden.
Getting people to realize, like, you need to move your entire body when you're arm wrestling.
Your field is here.
I mean, and
it's
Eddie,
a whole field.
And Eddie said it too. Eddie was like, "I thought arm wrestling was just this."
Yeah,
you know,
most people do that. Wait, you can use your whole body? Well, it's like, well, try to arm wrestle an arm wrestler without using your body.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like it's not going to happen.
Snap your leg.
You know? Yeah, you're going to snap your leg. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
So I do think that Brian's too much, but I love what I'm watching Eddie do, and I incorporate
it's
a ton
great.
of it.
Me too. 100%. I took a lot away. We are Arm Wars, whatever they call subscription. Yep. So we see those videos come out. You guys should definitely purchase Neil's subscription on YouTube
like
because
$7.
Yeah, $7 a month, whatever. It's great. Like the footage on there is fantastic. I don't see the same level of training for Brian Shaw and Devin, but we don't know what happens when the camera's not on.
Yes,
so
and Devin's tricky.
Right. It's
the
very,
stuff
very
that Devin is showing him in the strap.
Yeah. I mean, that's everything, man.
Yeah. And how he has him supinate his way into it, and he's going to fight for position. Yeah. And I think that's going to be a lot to deal with.
Yeah,
it is. Because the lever's so high. Yeah. If Eddie's lever was equally long, I would feel a little different about this. But man, I hate dealing with that lever length.
But if you don't know how to use it, when you
then
first start arm wrestling, you end up doing the open, right? You hit, and then now your arm is across the stage.
Which is so natural for long people.
It is. Well, it's just because it feels more efficient, right? Like it feels way more efficient to pull somebody out here. But as you arm wrestle more and more, you get so used to being super tight that but it takes a long time because you're used to.
I think we're going to see a hand strength from him, though, that is like...
Yeah, it's different. Because he's just going to go... Yeah. He's just going to...
Because his hand strength is probably up in the top 5 human beings. Yeah. He trains it for fun. It's a weird thing. Yeah.
I think he's got like a world record with the dumbbell thing.
Yeah. So it's like, well, that might be weird to see. Because when someone is taller and can cinch down, this control becomes much easier.
But, okay. So here's my problem with the hand strength thing. It's usually in certain positions. It's not everywhere.
It's not everywhere.
Right? So it's like...
Yeah, because if your hand is bent, the squeezing power changes crazy different.
Right. And when you're doing the grippers or you're doing the, testing, you're here. Yeah,
as soon as any of this happens,
squeezing like this, your strength goes down.
Yeah. That's a
when
fun
you're gripping the big fat dumbbells.
Yeah, I do that religiously.
All our guys at work, they could squeeze our lightest thing, right? Yeah. And then I say, can you just turn your hand like this and now squeeze it? None can crush it.
Weak.
Weak hand.
Yeah. But I think Brian is such a freak. I think he can do that.
I think he's a freak too.
I think you give him a number 3 and he just goes.
The captain's crush.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Maybe
yeah.
He goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Palco.
Well, yeah. First of all, king of the table. Let's do better. What the hell are these weight classes? We don't know.
We don't know any of the weights.
This is crazy. But anyway, we have Kevin Palco versus Joseph Moranto.
Yeah.
I think Palco has too much experience.
Yeah.
Joseph trains with John. Yep. I mean, and speaks highly of him.
Yes.
But I think Palco wins it.
Yeah. I think Palco.
And I think they're going to go inside. And it's going to be awesome.
Ability to burn you out is it's like Todd Hutchin, right? It's almost kind of. I mean, they just have this endurance.
You get in and grind it,
and he might lose the first round
too.
Yeah, right. He might lose the first round.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't seem like he's a fast hit to pin guy. He's just
contained.
He contains you. He holds you there.
Yeah.
So best of 7. I mean, it's in his favor. Paul Lynn and Krasimir.
I'm always going to root for Paul Lynn. I just don't know what weight class it is. It has to be up because I don't think Krasi came down.
I would imagine not. I would imagine
but I'll root
Paul
for Paul.
was pulling up.
I'll root for Paul.
I mean, I'm definitely rooting for Paul.
Yeah.
But
Krasi's a lot.
We all love Krasi. We all love Paul.
Yeah.
It's one we hate to call.
Yeah.
Corey West and Tobias Sprong.
This one for me is up in the air. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think Corey's too much.
I can't get
For
over how
Tobias?
big Corey is. When I met him,
Yeah.
It's just so small.
Yeah, that dude's crazy. That's big porridge.
Yeah.
Porridge.
Big daddy porridge.
Yeah.
Dude, he's crazy,
100%.
crazy strong, crazy huge.
Yeah.
I arm wrestled him, and I just know. It's like putting my hand inside of a sloppy Joe.
Yeah.
He's so much bigger.
Yeah.
Like it
just
was
get
a
lost.
catcher's mitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was a
catcher's mitt.
little ball.
There you go.
And he was like,
Your turn.
okay,
Okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. I just
come on, you got to keep it shitty.
Oh.
Matt Mask and Marcio.
I think Mass bust Marcio up. I think
They've pulled
Marcio
quite a few
fouls
times.
out like a
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, Marcio elbow fouls
Oh,
before the match even
God.
begins.
Oh, it
Oh,
hurts my
boy.
heart.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart.
I like Marcio a lot though.
Yeah.
And he's really versatile. I think Matt Mask has grown quite a bit recently.
Since, yeah. And
He's
it
gotten in weird
seems like
positions.
Marcio's going the other way.
I think Marcio should just compete smaller.
Yeah. Yeah. Get the
Yeah.
weight down.
Yeah.
Yep. 100% agree.
I would like to see the winner of Lachlan and Lars go against the winner of that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That's fun.
Yeah. I think Lachlan has that.
I do too. I think
Yeah.
Lachlan is growing exponentially.
Yeah, I saw them. I saw Lachlan pulling Devin.
Oh
on
my
the
God.
side
Devin
table.
had nothing for him, right?
Well, he did.
I mean, the way Devin pulls
Devin
it's
does
like,
that weird thing
Yeah.
where he
burns you out.
pins, but he's like adjusting the
Yeah.
strap, the hands on strap the entire time.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
And then I got you.
And you're like, okay, I can't.
Other people watching it were telling me, I didn't watch it. They were like, "Oh, Devin held him center."
No.
No. Hell
So
no.
Lachlan pinned him twice.
Yeah.
And then Devin, so they're coming back to center, and Devin's doing this thing,
Yeah.
Is that lefty?
re-gripping. Yeah. And then Lachlan goes to hit, and he's burnt out
Yeah.
by that point, and Devin's just holding him not center. I'm
Yeah,
telling you right
not
now,
at
he's
all.
not center.
Yeah.
Dave Chafee and Gabor.
I really
I don't
hope
know
Chafee can
before.
pull this off. Chafee says he feels healthy. He's been training. He's been
I
training
can't
harder.
with Gabor. It's Gabor's name, so Dave Chafee has to win, so we can move on.
Gotcha.
Right, Gabora. I
Yeah.
keep thinking of Barbora.
Yeah.
Barbora,
He
yeah.
even looks like her brother.
He
Yeah.
does.
Dave, you got to kill him.
I hope so.
Yo, so how about Sanders and
This
Rustam?
is
Rustam's
Bro.
so much smaller.
oh my god.
Yeah.
But Rustam has the crazy cup.
He's
Yeah,
crazy in general. He's
just-
crazy everything.
Yeah. So
Didn't Rustam stop Irakli at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost, but
Yeah.
he got stopped.
Yeah.
Pins even.
Yeah.
If it was Irakli, I would probably feel like Irakli can beat Sanders, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So that makes me think this is a great matchup. Like, it's fun.
I think this is going to
Yeah,
be
I
a
think
good
it's gonna
one.
be cool. I think it's gonna go inside.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Gabby and Barbora,
Oh my god, I want Gabby to win
so bad.
bad because
Gabby told her, she said to her, I didn't drive all this way to lose.
yeah, she's like
Like,
fucking like
I'm not here for,
locked in.
locked in. She sounds dangerous.
But if you look at the match that she had with her, she wasn't like out of it.
Barbora's just so big.
I think
Yeah.
Barbora's
Too much, right?
much, man.
She's too much.
I think Barbora's too much. But
Yeah.
I love Gabby.
Yeah.
I want her to win, but
Yeah.
whew,
We'll see.
We'll root for her. How about that?
we will
Yeah.
definitely root
course.
for
We'll
her.
give her our spirits. We
And
talked Brian Shaw and Eddie.
We
Yeah.
did Jerry and Levon.
Oh.
Jerry's dead. I'm just gonna say that. I want Jerry to win, but
Yeah.
I don't think we have anybody right now that could beat Levon.
Dead, do you think he
You
puts
don't
his
think
frame
he
in
has no chance?
No,
Really?
Not best of 7, no. I don't think so.
What?
Yeah.
it? And I
I
mean,
don't-
not best of 2 either.
Yeah. Not best of nothing. I don't
Really?
think Levon loses one round to anybody right now. I don't.
So we're going to just root for our boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, I don't know if I can even do that.
Yeah. I mean, given the history.
This is the last
of-
American Patriot.
Yeah, given the
No, we
history
have plenty of them.
that
Paul Lynn's on the
Levon has.
No, I mean, it's the last one that we have to throw at the wall.
yeah,
I mean,
but
sometimes you just
He's
gotta
throwing shit at the
take it out
wall.
the chin.
but dude, the history of Levon
Yeah.
losing to people in
Yeah.
the flop wrist.
Yeah.
Come on.
But I mean, that
I
was
think-
back
That doesn't
when
count
he
for
was-
anything.
He was a young boy.
Put it this way.
This is
I
different
would be
now.
very willing to bet and I'll take Levon.
Yeah.
I'll bet anyone.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm in for 200.
Yeah.
Like anyone at that party tomorrow says, "Yeah, I'll bet on Jerry." I'm in, bro.
No one's betting.
Look, man.
No one's betting.
But I want Jerry to win.
I love Jerry.
And I really, really like that guy.
He's different.
I just hope he doesn't.
He's different.
Snapping shit.
What do you think he's gonna do? What do you think he's gonna do?
Levon?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna go like this. Yeah.
And he's probably he's probably not gonna go right away. He's gonna probably do exactly what happened against Devin.
Okay.
Devin.
You gonna play with him a little bit?
I don't think he's playing. I think it is work.
Okay.
But I think he's just like, okay. And now we're gonna crank.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I expect to happen, dude. Nothing he does is very fast. But he will get to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think if Jerry creeps that thing up in there and that tongue comes out like venom, dude,
it's gonna be a war.
He's gonna wipe the sweat real quick with his tongue, like, and now we're in a. And if that happens, one round.
That's what I'm hoping
I feel
for.
like instantly Levon should double foul.
Yeah, and I think he will because I think he's gonna go backwards hard enough to just be like his elbows coming flying
off. That's a good point.
Yeah, because I think Jerry has been training fucking and Levon's been training.
Or Levon gets crazy and goes whip.
Yeah.
What?
That's what I think Levon's gonna do.
I think that's how you beat Jerry.
I think that's what Levon's gonna do. That's what I think Levon's gonna
I think you take Jerry and you get wrist to wrist and go, well, let's not worry about flopping. Let's arm wrestle.
I don't think Levon can do that to Jerry.
I think he can.
I think he can too. I actually think the first round looks like
he's the guy that
boom. And it's like really painful.
I guess.
And Jerry gets it together.
We'll see tomorrow.
We will see tomorrow.
Yeah.
On that note, I have to go, gentlemen. This has been fantastic. Been Tomorrow's the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, my heart's with you.
Yes.
And man, let's not break no limbs. Huh?
Oh
boy.
Yeah.
See you guys at 11.